then, well, the World Cup it happened. It changed venues, no?
Yeah.
Then I think it was going to be India. I don't remember. It was something.
Indonesia,
and then he played in Argentina.
Yeah.
Did that change of plans? Do you think it affected Guatemala's performance in the World Cup? Do you think you underperformed? You did well. You did what you expected. What's your take on the World Cup?
I think for one, if I'm being honest, I think like the preparation that we were doing before, I don't think it was like enough to prepare people for playing against, kids from
Argentina,
young men from Argentina,
exactly.
Uzbekistan. You have guys playing on Man City from that team. Like it was a high level. And so for me, I was always with my Cincy team, like training with them. And even still, like I could have been better prepped to go into that tournament, play against other national teams, play against like a Netherlands, play against like a France. So you know what that level is like.
Yeah.
So when you are there in the tournament, you're not caught off guard. And I feel like the players, if we were given more like better games and better preparation before the tournament, I think we could have performed a lot better. And I think we could have got out of that group, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the first game was crucial, right?
Yeah,
I think it was Uzbekistan game.
Or it was New Zealand, but I knew that I wanted to play them last, like I told her, but I just knew that was a make or break game for them because the next game was Argentina and the next game was Uzbekistan. So we need to come off with a win and see what we can do after that. And it was unfortunate how we lost that game. I still remember, but
still a great experience and a great accomplishment making it to that World Cup. And then you came back here, and that was very funny because I mean we've not heard a lot from you in terms of interviews and that, but you said "ganamos cerotes," so that's one of the expressions you got from your teammates, right? It's a word you had heard before. I wanted to ask because when I went to college, I'd say it a lot. Guatemalans say it a lot. And then it was when I was in Marquette, and most of them were Americans, but they were just fascinated with the word. And then I'd be cerote for everybody. And there are people from the Midwest, Michigan, Minnesota, whatnot. So it came out naturally, and people really responded to that.
So great. I remember it was right here.
It was here, yeah.
Crazy video. It blew up everywhere. My friends were high school and stuff were sending me it So it was just funny.
But it's a very common expression. It's very Guatemalan, right? Were your family with you in the World Cup, or did you go alone?
My dad went. Yeah, my dad went to the World Cup, but just my dad. So
okay, then you're in MLS. You're starting your career. You're being in two clubs close to home. How do you take the decision, or how do you decide to make the step to go to Europe when you went to Sweden?
I think for me it was like I wanted to get a good run of games at a first team level. And with Cincy, the players that were in my position, it was just, you had to look at the decision of well, are you going to start this game? Or are you going to get significant enough playing time? And for me, for my development at 20, or I think I went there as 19 or 20 to Sweden, it's very important for me to just get a run of games. And I think that year of Sweden, I grew the most as a player. Because I got 30 games in it, just playing first team football at a high level. Swedish, very technical, very good league.
Okay, so you felt like you grew as a player.
100%.
Okay,
tactically for sure.
Excellent.
And just learning some stuff that you wouldn't learn unless you're doing it against unless you're playing at a high level against grown men.
Yeah,
it's different if you're playing against your age group. You can get away with some stuff because of the physicality, but when you're playing against older players, then you have to adapt and you have to learn stuff that you wouldn't learn unless you're playing in these games.
Okay, and then Moldova, how did you make that? How did that decision or how did that opportunity arise? And when did you take it? I think you got there as a free agent, or was it a transfer?
I guess the term would be a free agent.
Yeah.
But I was just introduced to a new agency, and I spoke with the club directors from the club in Moldova and what their plan was in the process, and they got a lot of players similar to me where they were playing at a high level, and they're looking to play there and then make a just make the most of your opportunity. So there was players there that I was introduced that were playing first division Turkey, playing in Portugal first division, playing in Spain first division, guys that were coming from Mallorca, playing in Granada, really good players that I was introduced to. So yeah.
So it's a league like the Japanese league. There's leagues that people don't know about, pero that have they pay well and they have a lot of better players than people would expect, especially from far away, because nobody knows here anything from Moldova as a country, not to say the league. But was it better than the Swedish league, you think, or for you at least a better experience?
It's just different. It's different. Like, I think every league is different, and every league prioritizes like different things. The Moldovan league is a good league. I mean, you have teams like Sheriff, for example, that play Champions League football that have beaten Real Madrid in the Champions League.
Okay.
So I can't name too many teams that can go and say that they've done that.
No, of course no, yeah.
And it's like you're comparing apples and oranges. Like the Swedish league, I'd say is maybe a more technical league, and your first touch and tactically you have to be more aware. But like the Moldovan league, you have to be fit. There's a lot of running. There's a lot of duels. There's a lot of space, and so it's just a different league.
And which country do you like better?
Oh,
well, I don't know, or at least food-wise and culture, or
actually, I think it's easier to live in Sweden.
Yeah, and to go from one country to the other, right? Because you have Denmark and Scotland.
All that is easy.
Yeah.
But I think, like the city that I was in, Östersund, I think Chisinau, Moldova, there was more to do because I was staying in the capital, and Östersund is like, it's like far north. I think it's like if you're staying like Shella is north.
Who is north here, yeah.
So it's like that, like you're out the way, you're not close to Guatemala City.
Oh, okay.
So it's like that.
Interesting. Well, and now you're a free agent again, right? Analyzing your options.
Yeah, analyzing Rob.
Excellent. Well, was it difficult to make this last decision? Because when you went with the under-20 team and even to the World Cup, you knew that you could still play for another national team afterwards. It happened to Rubin. He played for the U.S. under-20. He was and then played for Guatemala national team. And I know they were trying to lure you back here for the the real national team, or the La Mayor. Was it difficult to make the decision? I know there was a lot of persuasion, or what? Maybe the question would be, what at the end made you commit to Guatemala national team?
I think for one, like the coaching staff here, like I can't speak, like it's so, I can't find the word. Like I speak so highly of Profe Tino because he's been patient. He's never like tried to like pressure me into do anything. Like we've always like spoken, and he's kind of like understood my stance, and I've just always appreciated that because every time I've been here, he's always welcomed me. It's always been so easy to talk to him. So I always felt in a sense like I was welcome. And then I saw like the progress and how things were changing, the incorporation of new players, like dual nationalists coming in, Aaron coming in, some like Olga coming in, Daniel coming in. So I just looked and I saw like that we're really building something here. And I feel like at the end of the day, like as a footballer, your dream is to go to the World Cup. And how crazy would it be if you make history with a team, with Guatemala, to go to the World Cup?
Exactly. And with the reception from the players, was it good?
I mean, I've always been like cool with a lot of the players. Like, so
you already knew most of them.
And I knew most of them, and it helps too that some guys on my U20s team are on here, like Franco and Rudy, like that.
Rudy Muñoz, and they're a big part of the team.
Big part of the team.
Odger's a great part of the team. He was in the last under-20 team.
Exactly.
So you have a lot of a lot of young players that are key players for this upcoming process.
Yeah, it's a good mix of players.
It is a good mix of players. The Gold Cup. I imagine you saw the last Gold Cup for Guatemala, where the people were very involved. The stadiums were filling up just with Guatemalan people. We beat Guadalupe in a very exciting game.
Crazy. I remember watching it.
It was. I think we all still get goosebumps from that. From the when we see the highlights from that game. We have a similar group again, a very tough group, playing in cities. Carson, Houston, Austin. We will probably be the home team in all three games against three tough teams: Jamaica, Guadalupe again, and Panama. What are the expectations? Because you said we're gonna get a good feel of what we have and what we can do for the qualifiers, which is the main objective. But do you want to go and compete also because of what happened in the last Gold Cup?
Oh, so we're going in there like we're trying to win the group.
Yeah, okay, good. Yeah.
I think everyone, this is like CONCACAF, everyone can get it. Like everyone is everyone can lose to everyone. Everyone can win against everyone.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
I think we're going in with the mentality like it's us versus everyone, and we'll take it one step at a time. That's not to say that these teams aren't really good teams. Panama, in my opinion, I think is the best team in
Central America right now.
Central America
definitely.
right now.
Yeah.
So these are hard games, but these are the games that I want to play, and these are the games that Odegaard wants to play, and these are the games that Rubio wants to play. Like
Exactly.
these are the big games. So
Well, Arquimides, we're very happy you're here because it's very evident you're going to be like you were with the under 20 team, a very important and a very key player for whatever Guatemala, as far as we can make it. And I'm sure this can be the first World Cup. As you were part of the second under 20 World Cup, we want you to be part of the first real World Cup, and there's a lot of expectation for the World Cup for you guys to make it next year. So, bueno, y por último en la entrevista, siempre tenemos un patrocinador muy especial que con los invitados pues más notables de Zona Deportiva siempre tienen el regalo que es The Coast. Los zapatos de The Coast, Kimmy's, this is for you. These are shoes that The Coast wanted to give you because they knew that we were going to interview you, and they're like athlete shoes. Look at this, to wear like daily. So, yeah, they're not bad, right?
Oh, right. These are nice. I like.
All right. Yeah.
I like
we found your size, which is 11, American size, right? So
perfect.
I hope you enjoyed them, my friend.
Thank you so much.
And thank you again, and all the best to you. We're sure you're gonna have a great time here, and you're going to have a very successful time here. So thank you again, my friend.
Appreciate it.